Wondering if it's too late for you to start a successful Instagram account? It's not. In fact, there is no better time than now to get started on Instagram because now you have over a decade's worth of knowledge to let you know how to do it right. So today in this video, stay tuned because we will be breaking down exactly what we would do if we were starting our Instagram account in 2020. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new to our channel, we are High Season, a social media agency that helps business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketers step their social media game up and break the algorithm. Can you believe Instagram has been around for a decade?
It's crazy.
Isn't that actually crazy?
It doesn't feel like
You know,
it.
I was looking through my thing, and you were one of the first people I followed, but you weren't the first, actually.
Wow.
I think Corey was the first. But isn't that crazy, though?
It
It's
is crazy. I remember
yeah.
getting it. It's 2011. We were a little behind the curve, but I remember seeing it in 2010.
Yeah.
So
We were using Path back then. The
That
real
was
ones know Path.
very niche.
Very niche.
Super niche.
Yeah.
I remember when we first did our first trip to Montreal.
Yeah.
We were in Toronto and documenting it all on Instagram with hipstamatic
Those hipstamatic filters. The filter
terrible.
game was just so ridiculous back then.
So reflecting on that,
Yeah.
we thought it would be a good idea to run through exactly what we would do if we were to start a new Instagram today. There's been so many changes to the algorithm, to the actual interface itself, to the way it works, to the engagements, to the insights, that we thought, well, what would we do if we were going to actually start it from scratch? So we this is quite a detailed video, so get ready for it.
Get your notepad, get your
get your
laptop,
tabs,
get
yes.
your tablets,
It's gonna
get
be
your
like-
everything, get a coffee, and
Yep.
we're settling in here today, guys, okay?
Oh, yes.
And this is like the perfect opportunity. I'm glad we have this YouTube channel for this reason because it's such a
Yeah.
great opportunity to actually flow through everything.
Yes.
Because we would have never even thought to do this if it wasn't for the channel. So.
Absolutely. And we're going to be pointing you guys to a whole bunch of resources to our other videos where we went into that specific section in more detail. So we're going to cover kind of high level across everything. And if you want to get more granular, we're going to pass you on to another video. Hence, your tabs need to be ready and fired up.
So by the end of this video, you will have all the tools that you need, all the strategies you need to start a successful Instagram account from scratch and grow that account. Let's get started.
So before we get into it, we have a few points of assumed knowledge. One is that you know who your target audience is. Two is that you know your demographics. And three is that you know who your competitors are, because all of those are kind of key to how you would roll out your Instagram account.
Yeah, and you should have that just for your business in general, guys.
Anyway,
so make sure
absolutely.
you have that knowledge because that should inform how your services and products are even distributed and defined and created.
Absolutely. Alrighty, the first step is your market research. So just like we were saying with the assumed knowledge, you have to go into creating your Instagram account with your business already intact. You know who you're aiming at, who you're trying to talk to, and how you present yourself. So now it's time to take that research into Instagram itself. So you want to look at your direct competitors, other brands, similar brands in your vertical or your industry, and influencers in your industry specifically. Now,
Influencers, they do it the best. The good ones.
they really do.
Yeah.
Oh, when they're good, they're good.
Yeah.
The point of this is that you can go into your industry already knowing how everybody else are already presenting themselves. So instead of you just trying to figure it out and making a lot of mistakes and having to fix that, you can just go and take a look exactly how the best of the best are doing it and then borrow the successful tactics from them. So what we mean by this includes the type of content. Are they doing photos? Are they doing videos? Are they doing carousels? Is it text? You want to look at the captions. How are they doing the captions? Is it short and witty and snappy? Is it long stories that are sort of more detailed? On that note, we actually have a video we can probably pop up here or down here. There's going to be a lot of ones, so if it's not up here, it'll be down here, about how to write better captions for Instagram that convert. Just every small element about the industry and how they present themselves, and this will just save you all the heavy lifting. Someone's already done it for you, so you may as well just take the landscape that they've already created and implement all the things that win into yours. Now, that doesn't mean there won't be trial and error. Of course, you're going to try things. Maybe it works for a competitor or an influencer, but it might not work for you, and that's okay. But at least you have a solid guide. You're not going in blind, and that's the huge benefit of the market research before you even create your account.
Yeah, so definitely be looking at the engagement that they're getting on these posts because obviously you won't know the reach or impressions or anything.
Of course.
But once you're searching through those accounts, look at the engagement. Now, as you guys know, Instagram has removed likes in most countries, but you can actually go to the desktop and see what people's engagement looks like on their photos still. They might take that away, but they have not taken that away yet. And comments are something to look at as well.
Very good.
Look at questions people are asking, but also just look at how many comments they're they're getting, because that'll give you a good idea of what is highly engaging content. Next up, once you have done all of your market research and you've analyzed what everyone is doing well on Instagram, you're going to want to create your own content categories. Having these content categories established for you will save you a ton of time in thinking of what to create. We actually have a video on content ideas that we'll put there and we'll also put in the description below. But using that market research that you have and using these different ideas and how to present that information will help you build a content calendar. So that means no matter what, you'll always be able to share the content that you need and you'll never be struggling day to day. It also lets you focus on what's working well and what's not working well, because then you can say, okay, I have a content category that are quotes, for example, and I have one that's a lifestyle image, and I have one that's a flat lay. And whenever I post flat lays, they're not doing well when I'm looking in my insights, so I can scratch that and figure out another way to present this type of information. So that's why having content categories is so important. We have them for every single client, no matter what, because that helps us know what types of content not to miss, because it's important that you don't miss certain things, and also just what works and what doesn't. We actually have a video on how to manage your social media by yourself as an entrepreneur. We are going to put that there. It goes into great detail, and we'll also put in the description below.
Alrighty, next up, you need to claim consistent handles. So when you get your Instagram account, you need to choose a handle. What we would suggest is by the time you're going to get your Instagram account, we would imagine you would already have your domain for your business, your website. So what we tend to do is try to make everything match the website whenever possible. Hopefully it's within the character limit. Instagram's limit, I want to say off the top.
16.
16? No, Twitter is 15. I think Instagram's more than that.
Okay, we'll put the number here of what it is.
Can never remember. It's quite long. Sometimes people have ridiculous names.
That's true, with all these underscores and stuff.
Yeah, all sorts of.
Avoid all the underscores, guys.
I'm
just going to let you know about that. Like there's no need to have like 3 underscores in your name. It's messy.
Right.
It doesn't look cute.
And
so,
to get to that point, we actually have a video we'll either put here or here about how to get or why you need to get consistent handles. So make sure that whatever you choose on Instagram matches your website, matches Twitter, matches Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it is. Now, the reason for that is, think about it. You meet a prospective client or customer or somebody at a conference. You're like, they are, oh, where can I find your business online? Well, you're like, all right, it's at High Season Co. everywhere. Website,
easy,
everything. Cool. All right, no worries. And you go, oh, where can I find your business? Like, okay, so it's highseasonco.com, right? But then it's at high.season-co on Instagram, and then it's at HGHSZNCO on Twitter. You get where I'm going.
Yeah.
It's so annoying, and half the time people can't remember. I always look at it like that, or for content creators, if you have to say it at the end of a video or something like that, how annoying is it to say it?
Yeah.
Or does it save space on the business card?
Yeah, it just needs to be
make it
as easy as possible for people to find you.
This is like a time, and sorry to cut you off there, in this time, day and age, the friction for getting discovered and for getting that attention, it's higher than it's ever been. Everyone is doing something. Everyone is a content creator or running a business and wants your attention and wants your money. Yeah. So if you make it just a fraction hard for someone to find you, it's done. I give up so easy now.
Yeah, same.
Like if anything's just slight, I'm like, no, unless I really, really want it, and that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
So make it easy. Give people a reason to continue to contact you or to look into your business. Don't give them any reason to not, and that's the key part.
Yeah. The next thing we would do if we were starting a new Instagram account is to get our content creation tools together. And this is high quality content creation tools, okay? So the reason that we'd want this is because obviously we're going to be sharing imagery on Instagram. It's a visual based platform. Now, we're not saying that you need to go out and buy a $3,000 camera, or you need to make sure that you have the top of the line everything, or technology or microphone or anything to get these things started.
Yeah.
However, you do want to put your best foot forward and you want to look as professional as possible. So even if you can't purchase the latest and greatest, that should not impede you from getting started. Just make sure that you are at a good enough tier. For example, a smartphone. The smartphones that are coming out today are pretty high tier, but obviously you need to look at the latest models. You probably can't be creating fantastic content on your iPhone 4 or 3G, all right? We'll actually link the camera that we're using here and the lights and all that stuff in our description. They're actually in the description of every video. We love this camera. Like, it's the Canon 6D Mark II, but it's a little bit on the higher side, but there are really great tools that we're actually going to include in a video here. We covered it. It's called the Content Creation Tools, a budget-friendly list, and it'll also be in the description below so you can get started quickly.
All right, the next step we would take if we were creating an Instagram account from scratch is to batch our content. So now that we have our content creation tools, we're going to have photo shoots. Basically, the easiest way is to do it all at once. So we've tried it before and it does not work if you have to do like 30 minutes here this week to do the next 3 days a post, and then you just always kind of chasing your tail and it's not worth it. So we found the best, most efficient way is to get all that creative energy and channel it into a few hours at once. Lock it down once every 2 weeks, once a month, whatever you can do. And we always aim to create 20 to 30 usable images out of every session. That is quite difficult, particularly if you're doing something where maybe say you're taking pictures of food for a restaurant. There's only so many ways you can take a burrito in this particular thing, and you might spend 30 minutes setting it up and making the food and getting it ready, and you really can only use one, maybe two of that scene. It can be quite time consuming, all depending on the type of business that you have. So keep that in mind, but that was definitely the way we would recommend to do it. For starting the new account as well, we want to start off with 9 to 12 images posted on the feed before you even start following people, which we're going to get into. So think about that from your first content creation shoot. We're going to take 9 to 12 different images that you can put together in a tile. We have content scheduling tools and grid planning tools like Planoly. We've talked about that many times here. That can help you create that grid and make sure it's looking fire before you go live. We're going to have another video up here and down here that talks a little bit more about batching content and how to schedule 1 week's worth of content in only 1 hour. It's super simple, and that's the way that we do it for ourselves and for our clients, and then we'd be kind of screwed otherwise.
The next step we take to creating our successful Instagram account is to fill out our bio in full detail. We would want to optimize our bio. So that covers your handles as well, in addition to the title. So your name, that is a searchable name field, okay? So you want to use that and optimize that. That includes your description as well, so who you are, any emojis, any formatting that you want to do in there, and the links that you will have in your bio as well. Links are key, and there's a tool called Linktree that we use. We've talked about it in several videos that will allow you to not only have that one link in your bio go to one place, but have an actual landing page so you can direct people to multiple pages, whether it be on your website or elsewhere. We actually have a video that we broke down the Instagram profile in full. It is going to be there, and it will also be in the description below. We go into great detail there, and we also have an Instagram checklist, and that Instagram checklist actually carries you through every single step one by one. So we will definitely include that. It's actually in the description of every single video that we have. And this is a critical step because this is your business card. Remember, your Instagram profile is your business card. So it's going to be the first thing that people see when they land on your profile. And you have to put your best foot forward so that they want to convert and be a follower. Also, for the experts and other owners that might be having services that they're selling as well, this is a really good time in that Linktree bio that we just mentioned to add a freebie or some type of offer so that you can collect emails as well. So it's good and well and good to grow your Instagram account. That's great for brand building, but you also want to have another account, and that's where emails come in, where that you can actually reach your customers offline. It's technically online, but off social media.
Yeah, it's like taking them off Instagram to build your email list, but since you're building an Instagram account from scratch, you may as well build your email list. Hopefully not from scratch, but if that's the case, then there's no better time like the present
we just had somebody who said that their Instagram account was deleted actually in the comments. I was just thinking like exactly that, right? What would you do now if your account was deleted and you don't have anywhere else to get in touch with your followers? So that's why having the email list is so important, because that's one, you could just email everybody and say like, hey guys, my account got deleted, or this business account got deleted, because it's not a platform that you own. You don't own Instagram, but you can own your email list. We actually have a video that we just recently dropped, which is how to grow your email list using Instagram and YouTube. We will leave that, of course, there, and we'll leave that in the description below.
Alrighty, the next step that we would take if we were starting an Instagram account from scratch is to actually get posting. So we've done everything else to prepare for this moment, so now you're going to actually post. So you're going to have all your posts, your 9 to 12. I mean, 12 is probably better because that fills up the whole screen. Put them all into something like Planoly so you can take a look. You're going to write your captions, and I mentioned that caption video earlier, which will likely be in the description below, on how to write captions that convert, because you need to know, do your audience want to see something short and zippy, or do they want the longer thing, or some sort of a mix? So you're going to need to do that and put them in Planoly. Now, when you're posting, at this point, you've got 0 followers and you're following nobody. So keep that in mind. Now, how, one may ask, would you expect people to find your posts to actually see if they work? So since you have no followers, you have no data on when your followers are online, so you know the optimal times to post. So how do you get around that? Hashtags. We're going to go into that next. So you're going to post 3 times a day over 4 days, morning, afternoon, and evening. Now, this is going to allow you to test the different times of day, which are the typical peaks, I guess the travel to work, the lunch break, and the evening type of folks. So just to see which one works and start gathering some data. So you're going to do that over the 4 days, and you're going to use those hashtags in the first comment, and you're going to be able to see who comes to you from those hashtags over those 4 days. So the problem is if you're going to go and follow somebody straight away and you've got no post or one post, it's not really going to be very attractive.
You're never going to follow someone. If someone follows you and you go and look at their profile and they have one photo,
post,
you're
no
going to be
posts.
like, okay, you're a spam account or something weird's happening.
Yeah.
There's nothing interesting to make you want to follow them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So start that way, start slow, use the hashtags to generate some traction for those first few days, and then you can get down to business and start posting for real. We actually have a video, not sure if it'll be here, it'll definitely be down there, about the best times to post and how to figure that out.
Now, the next step, which is super critical to building and growing your account. So now we have started the account. Now it's time to grow that account. Hashtags. Implementing a hashtag strategy is so key to your organic growth. And this would be great to start with because this just means right out the gate, you just be money. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is implement a hashtag strategy by using small, medium, and large hashtags. Now, the hashtags that you're using are going to be built from your niche, so what your categories are, and you're going to be researching through all the market research that you've done with the influencers and the competitors and the similar brands to determine which hashtags are most effective. What you want to do with these hashtags is actually go into your notes app, or actually Planoly has a library, I think Later might as well, and you're going to create bulk hashtags in 30 for each topic, for each content category.
Yes.
That is so key, and this is also just going to make it so every time you're not actually posting and writing out 30 hashtags, it makes it so that you can copy and paste very easily and also identify what works. So with every client, again, we have about probably like 7 to 10 hashtag banks that we use depending on the category and depending on the post, and then that kind of modifies and changes as the algorithm changes or as we notice something's performing well and something isn't. But you want to make sure that you create that hashtag bank so you can just copy and paste. Now, hashtags are pretty huge, so we went really, really in depth with how to find the right hashtags, and we are going to link that video up there and in the description below. It's probably not going to be linked now. Sorry, there'll be a picture up there for you to see because you only get 5 cards on YouTube, but it's going to be definitely included in the description below, and we highly recommend you check out that video.
All right, the next step in creating an Instagram account from scratch is following key accounts and hashtags. So, like we said, you're going to have 0 followers and 0 following. Now, one of the most important things about Instagram is the ratio. I don't really know why it's so important. I don't know if it's sort of a pride sort of a thing. But
I think it's kind of like a pride thing. It just looks weird if you're just overly following so many people. It just looks spammy. I think that's why it does seem weird.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to. Like,
no,
there's no magic number.
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt, but it can look spammy or look desperate or thirsty.
Yeah, so you want to have more people following you than you are following. You don't want to be following 3,000 people and have 500 followers. It just makes you look thirsty. I see that quite often, but usually on personal accounts who just don't care.
Yeah.
When I see it on a brand or an account that is trying to be serious, I sort of judge them.
Yeah, it looks like you're doing either like unfollow, like follow, or
really
you just like don't know how to use Instagram, basically.
One of those two. I think that's really what it is. So we would highly recommend you need to protect that ratio. Now, whatever that ratio is up to you. Some people like, thirds, so they follow 300, but they've got 600 followers type of thing. No, that's not right. 900 followers. Yeah. You see where I'm going with that. Math. I'm not a mathematician. This is a social media channel, goddamn. So that's whatever that is. That's up to you completely. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Didn't you have one that you enjoyed, or did you not really back in the day? Did you ever
a ratio?
Yeah, that you liked. I just remember
not a specific ratio. No? I just like to keep a healthy gap.
Right.
Yeah.
Healthy gap, whatever that means to you. So, who do you follow? Well, we would recommend you follow any members of your team at first. Would be super key.
Yeah.
Any other key members of your industry. Now, if you're like Nike, you don't have to follow Adidas. It's not how that works, but and that's how you pronounce it probably. It's not Adidas. It's actually Adidas.
It's Adidas.
My aunt is from the city in Germany, and she knows the name of the guy. That's his name. That's how it's pronounced, right? So Google it. I get really mad about that.
Yeah, you do.
Thing.
Yeah.
It's
very protective.
Right? Super. I don't know why. Yeah. It's not even from my country.
Yeah.
You don't have to follow your direct competitors. It's kind of weird. Unless it's okay in your industry. In the beer industry, in the wine industry, everyone's following all their friends in that world.
Yeah.
So it's not strange. But most industries, I would argue that it probably is.
Yeah.
So you want to avoid that. Anyone else? So if you're a brewery, you might want to follow the canning companies, the the bars, the restaurants,
the malt company, like anyone who does any ingredients, like everything that's associated with
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Key influencers are really good as well to be following. Super important. You want to make them aware of your brand. Those are the ones we would recommend to start. Now, as you follow them, because you've got Fly bio, a nice little tagline in there. You got your link tree with all of your links to your other social media and other key links where you want to send people. You got a great crisp profile photo that's eye-catching and attractive, and you've got your 12 photos in your feed that are all crisp with proper hashtag strategy and a great caption. They're going to come to your account and go, oh wow, this is pretty cool. Might not have many followers yet, but I like where it's going, and they'll follow you. That's what we're trying to achieve here. So you're going to follow those guys first, and you let those follows come back in, and as they come back in and you get more follows than you're following, then you can start to follow some more.
Yeah, and another thing that does is build association in the algorithm. So what you're trying to do is let Instagram know who you are and how to associate you with others. So by following everyone in a content category, Instagram's going to know, this is somebody in the beauty industry, this is somebody in health and fitness, this is somebody in craft beer. And what that does is tell them who to also show your account to.
Yes.
So you can come up in that suggested, or you can land on the explore page. We actually have a video, and association is pretty critical in this, and we will put the video there, and in the description below it's how to get on the Instagram explore page, and that's a key component of that.
Yes, and the last thing in this category is following hashtags. Now we would recommend to follow niche hashtags, because the next thing we're going to go into is about engaging. So we're going to talk about that a bit more. But if you're able to follow the hashtags, all of those things are just going to come up in your feed. So you don't even have to go to your search button, search for the hashtag, and then go in there and do it. It just pops up. So it saves you time and energy. They're just going to be right there, and then you can start to delve in a bit more if you hit on the hashtag in that picture. That'll take you to the page anyway, if you'd like to look at more. So that's a time saver, and it's a key thing, and then you can start to engage with people in your industry.
The next thing that we would do if we were starting our Instagram account from scratch and wanted to grow is the number one thing on Instagram, no matter what, the most important part, engage. So this is when you start going out and being a good Instagram user. We want Instagram to know that we are an active user of the community, and we also want to build connections that encourage people to follow us. So what you would be doing is going into those hashtags that we talked about, the niche hashtags, going into location tags, and one big key is going into competitors' accounts, large competitor accounts, and other influencers, and engaging with the people that are engaging with them, especially the ones that they're ignoring, because you want other people to know that, hey, if this influencer is ignoring you, I'm over here. Hey, if this brand's ignoring you, I'm over here, and I have as much information, or I have a product that is equal to or better than theirs.
Yes.
We go into great detail of what this process looks like, very granular in our video. That's actually our most popular video. It's use this Instagram strategy to grow, and honestly, it's the gold mine there. And when we talk about engagement, this includes commenting on photos, liking the photos, answering questions when you can in other people's comments, but just really making sure that you're involved so people can find you. We want to give everyone all the opportunities they can to actually find you. And when it comes to engagement, you can dedicate as much time as you can. You obviously don't want to go in there. This is actually very important. Don't go in there and try to be liking 500 photos in 1 hour. That'll actually just make you look spammy or weird, and Instagram will block you. They'll actually give you an action block. But through the day, if you can, just go through and start engaging. That will really help you create a community of people who will buy your products passionately, follow you and follow everything that you do, and really create true fans. So definitely cannot recommend that enough. It almost makes no sense to do anything else if you're not actually going to engage or participate on Instagram at all.
The final step in creating a brand new Instagram account that you're going to grow from scratch is to check your insights. So now you've been posting, you've been engaging, you're getting some activity in, your insights are going to finally present you some data that you can use to determine your next steps. So you're going to find out who your audience are, where they're located, when they're online, what kind of content they're engaging with and liking the most, so that you can use that information and then continue to double down on the things that are working and cut the things that aren't. So like I said, we're not going to go into any more info now, but we do have some videos coming up on insights that we're excited to talk about, because that's one thing we haven't really touched on yet.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for those, but make sure you're continually checking your insights at all times. They are the guiding light of Instagram.
All right, guys, that is it for today. That is how you start an Instagram account from scratch in 2020 and grow that account into a thriving, successful account for you and your brand. If you have any questions about anything that we talked about today, you can drop them in the comments below. We are always here to answer. Guys, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video. If you like this video and you made it this far, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from us. Follow us everywhere. You see what we're going to do? At High Season Co., that one consistent handle for you.
So easy.
And you can check us out at highseasonco.com. Doesn't it just make it so easy? So easy.
Can't forget it.
We have a ton of blog and resources on there as well. Until next time, guys.
Peace.
Peace.